It is hump day, baby. It is Wednesday. I am so late. It seems to be the story of my life here lately. I'll tell you what, it's already 5:20 in the evening, and I need to slow down, baby. But it was a busy day, but a lot accomplished. I didn't get any mail today, but I do have a little something to put out there. As you all know, we have been concerned about we have to move Travis's house over, and so we had a little fund going, trying to save the money up to pay the fee to have the house moved. And I want to thank Deborah Gerlach, who stepped up last night and donated enough that we can move the house. So it's already set in motion. We got the wheels turning. So Travis will be recording it. I can't thank Deborah Gerlach enough. She came down to visit me. She went up to see Randy Kervin, over to see Leo Sahaki, and then on to see Andy Pagoda. And then she got home, and she donated the funds to be able to do that. And so we want to give her a big shout out. She's been a Blue Dot supporter for a very long time, and we're very thankful for it. Anyway, what's going on? Well, as much as I can get into, one thing, couple little things, let's get out of the way. Ted Cruz, are you shitting me? Yep, Ted Cruz. That's what the story said, that Ted Cruz is putting it out there that he might work with Ocasio-Cortez on supplying birth control over the counter. Ted Cruz, the guy that argued that vibrators were against the law here in Texas, that woman couldn't use that kind of stuff, is now going to work with a Democrat, a very progressive liberal Democrat, on working on birth control. Are you shitting me? Maybe there's a little tide changing around here. Or maybe it is that Ted's getting a little concerned about Texas here. You know, they put out a bunch of polls. As a matter of fact, Donnie said, "Oh, I don't believe in the polls. They're fake news, fake polls. Don't listen to them." And he's talking about several polls. The Quinnipiac poll, there were several polls that all had the leading Democratic nominee, the Democratic candidates. That would be Biden and Bernie and Elizabeth Warren and Buttigieg and all them. They're all leading Donnie. If the race were held today, Donnie would lose to them all. And right here in Texas, Biden beats Donnie by 4 points here in Texas. So maybe that tells you a little something about our state down here, baby. We came so close with getting Beto O'Rourke elected to the Senate here, and lost by a few points. And but ever since then, that near win has empowered us down here in Texas. It has given us the fight that we want to go on. We want to turn this state blue, and baby, 2020 looks like a damn good time to do it. MJ Hager is running against Cornyn, so that's our pick for the Senate down here, and we're going to do our best to turn Texas blue and deliver it not only as a Senate seat, but also a vote for the Democratic nomination. But Donnie's getting all about, now if the polls had anything to do with him, last week he was just bragging about some poll that had him the highest numbers the Republicans would ever have in history of the world ever since God created light and all that kind of stuff. He loved the polls, but now he don't like them. But we have to remember, polls really don't mean shit. They give you a little view of what's happening today. That's not what's going to happen tomorrow. We should well know that from the 2016 election. So we can't rest on our laurels going, "Oh yeah, we got this locked up. Donnie sucks so bad we can beat him." We can't do that, baby. This is going to be a fight all the way to the end, and we all have to be involved in it. Those polls don't mean shit. It is our enthusiasm and our voice and our vote that is going to make this happen. Nothing else will make it work. So, but anyway, what else is going on? Well, Donnie invokes executive privilege again. This time over all the documents pertaining to the question of how are you a U.S. citizen? That's the question. Ended up on the Census Bureau. That question is in front of the Supreme Court this week. There's going to be an answer come down on whether or not that question is included on the census. And for some unknown reason, boy, the Republicans are really worried about us finding out the discussion between the Chamber of the Secretary of Commerce, Wilbur Ross, and Attorney General Barr. They have both been held in contempt of court now, in a vote of 24 to 15 in the House, Oversight Committee. And I want to throw in the fact that that 24 to 15 vote includes Republican Congressman Amash from Michigan, the one that stood up, made that tweet about Donnie, and he's guilty of obstruction of justice. That's the only Republican that stood with the Democrats, baby. It's a crack. And that crack will keep getting bigger because now he's trying to hide the question of why is that question on the census? It's never been there before. Why do we need it now? Because they're afraid that census is going to show a larger population, and that figures in on how you're going to determine how many congressmen are in a particular state. And you know, if there's a lot of people who are non-citizens in a certain area, well, that's a population difference, and that might include a new congressional district when they do the districts again in 2020. It's a long-range plan to gerrymander the vote again. To gerrymander districts. If we get more districts, the possibility highly exists that those districts would be Democrat districts. And the GOP doesn't want anything to do with that. They will fight tooth and nail. That's why they want that question on there. But the census is not about U.S. citizenship. It is about the population of a certain area to ensure that essential services are provided for that area. Schools, hospitals, roads, whatever it is. The census tells how many people are living in this area, not who's a Republican, not who's a Democrat. Are you a citizen? Are you an immigrant? Have you got a green card? Oh, let me see your paper. No, we don't need that shit. The census is a measure of the amount of people that we have to provide services for. And anybody who wants that on there is just they're trying to use, it's a voter rights thing. No. It's a district thing, and that's what they're trying to do. And all of a sudden, Donnie wants to throw executive privilege out there to hide this shit. Just like everything else the man has been asked to provide as he sits out there and tells the world, I'm the most transparent president ever in history. When God said, flip on the light, and the light shined right through me. No, it's all bullshit. It's con jobs. And we have a disgusting attorney general in this country that is willing to go behind. He's not working for the American people, baby. He's a hack. He's a hack for Donnie and the Republican Party to try to cheat, lie, steal, whatever the hell they can do. And that's exactly what Barr is doing. That's what Wilbur Ross is doing. They're defying the subpoenas, the oversight by Congress. Well, seems like the executive branch doesn't have any use for congressional oversight. So they're not cooperating on anything, which is all the more reason to impeach his ass. We don't want a dictator. We don't need a dictator, although Donnie loves him. He didn't want to piss off Kim Jong-un. There was a question on Kim Jong-un's half-brother, the guy that got killed with the up in the nose there, and they killed over it. He's dead. And he was assassinated, baby. And the question is raised, did Kim Jong-un's brother work for the CIA? Maybe so. New York Times said, hey, that guy was working with the CIA, giving us a little information on North Korea. And Kim Jong, are you shitting me? Donnie jumped up and said, not under my auspice. Not under my auspice. He doesn't want to piss off Kim Jong-un, because he just got a beautiful letter that he would read to you, but he can't read you that, just like he can't read the little piece of paper that he waved about saying Mexico's thing, unless Mexico tells him he can, which that statement was so idiotic. It's my option. I can do it whenever I want, and I'll do that just as soon as Mexico lets me. And it's just so much bullshit that the man tries to shovel out. It's ridiculous. And this standing up for Kim Jong, not under my auspice. I didn't send a spy. I'm not spying on you. I wouldn't do anything like that, Kim. Don't break up with me, Kim. I want a third date. And he's going to get one. We got the G20 coming up pretty soon. He'll be meeting with his other boyfriend, Putin, with his master. That's who Putin is to him. Donnie can't do anything that Russia is doing right now because Putin's got his ass over a barrel. But that didn't stop him from having a little F-35 flyover today at the Rose Garden, because the Polish president was here and visiting, and Donnie wants to sell him some weapon systems. So, hey, We're going to have a flyover. Hey, a couple of F-35s right there. How you like that? So that ain't happening forever. It's a no-fly zone. They don't do that shit. But Donnie wants it, baby, just like he wants that military parade with the missiles and everything and soldiers marching. He wants to be that authoritarian dictator, baby. That's what Donnie wants. Anyway, Rose Garden flyover. Hey, you know, looks like they're going to start digging uranium mines right over there by the Grand Canyon. How you like that shit? Screw your national parks. Screw your EPA. We'll dig where we want to dig it. Evidently, they want to do it. I think it's on the Escalade on the other side. But that's when they opened that up. And that's how close they want to get now to the Grand Canyon. They don't give a shit about the treasures of this country. Not the physical ones like our parks, much less the treasure that we hold in our own lives, our kids' lives. He'd send them off to die anywhere just for his glory. Are you shitting me? There's nothing sacred about this man. There is nothing. This man will not do, sell, or whatever. Anyway, I was glad to see that the House passed the 9/11 Victims Fund bill. After Jon Stewart went in there and raked them over the coals yesterday, after Jon Stewart poked his finger in their nose and said, you haven't done shit. And they finally were embarrassed enough that they passed it through the House. Now it goes to the Senate. How about it, Mitch McConnell? Is it American enough for the 9/11 responders, victims, to give them that bill freestanding without anything else attached to it? Just a bill for them. Let's see if it gets done. If not, maybe Jon Stewart can schedule a visit in front of the Senate and see how many show up for that shit. But I was glad to see him get that bill passed through the House. And it was only through his effort. They were forced to. It's just like everything that they're going to have to do. They're going to have to be forced to do it. Whether it be this bill for the 9/11 responders or for impeachment or for the removal of his ass from office. It's only going to come when the real information comes out, when they're forced to defend a lying con man traitor right out there in public. They'll turn on him. And that's why we have to keep pushing for the hearings. Because that's what we got, baby. And we're going to keep it going until we remove his ass. Until all the truth comes out about every little dirty, stinking deed he's ever done since he started in our house. And before. He's been laundering money long before he came down that escalator, baby. And I want those facts brought out. I want him exposed for the criminal that he is. And we all know he is. So we keep pushing our congressmen, our senators to keep the heat on, to turn up the heat, to do the investigation, to do the subpoenas, to enforce them. If they don't, hold them in contempt, start putting them in jail. Start charging them hundreds of thousands of dollars a day until they comply. Do whatever you have to do to get the information that is required to do your duty under the Constitution. That requires you to do that. Anyway. That's what's going on. We want to thank all our Patreon members and those that support it. And a big shout out to Deborah Gerlach with that big step up last night that pushed us over the top so we can go ahead and get the company over here to move Travis's building. We're going to film it. We're going to make a show out of it. It's going to be exciting. Y'all will be amazed with how quick it goes and just how fast you can burn up that kind of money with that kind of big old truck. But yeah, we got a few fences to tear down now. So it's going to be a busy day, and my kids are going to do most of the physical work. I'll be standing around going, yeah, that post, pull that post. As little as I can. My shoulders can't take too much. So, but anyway, like, share, subscribe. John Burdeville, Blue Dot in Texas, on YouTube. John Burdeville on Facebook. John Burdeville Speaks, Blue Dot Family. Go by and see the family. Join the conversation. Join Connie Guidry, Monica Burns over there to get in the conversation and be involved. It's going to start coming on like a snowball pretty soon, folks. I mean, there's going to be a lot of shit happening real soon, and we need to stay on top of it, baby. Anyway, tomorrow night I'll be live with Travis again, and we'll have our Blue Dot family meeting. Same secret time, same secret place. And y'all take care until then, and love all y'all. Y'all take care. Bye.